Hi guys, so today it's Monday, August 29th, and we're super duper excited. Oh, okay, hold on one second, let me mute. Okay, so we're super excited. We're gonna have Amy Grasso speaking with us tonight. But before we turn it over to her, I do have a few housekeeping items and announcements. Let me go ahead and mute people. I'm keeping everyone muted for now. If you have something to say later on, you can definitely unmute yourself. So anyway, so I want to go over a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, where are you? I know that Elizabeth is hopping on a little late, but she can catch the recording. But I want to congratulate her in front of everyone for meeting Success Starters. And she's actually the first one in our team that does. So this is super awesome. It's definitely inspiring us leaders on how can we be better in teaching people to, reach Success Club 5 each month to be able to do this. And I think it's great. It's a great incentive. So congratulations, Elizabeth. I also want to remind everyone about the health bet. Last reminder, you want people up and running literally by like tonight at latest so they can receive their challenge pack. So if you are doing the health bet, make sure that you get everyone locked and loaded by today, tomorrow at latest, because you want to make sure that they, you want to make sure that they get their challenge pack and they get set up in the tracker, in the My Challenge tracker, and log on everything on time. So another thing is our next sneak peek, it's going to be September 15th. This time around, hi Angela, welcome. Hi, Monica. This time around, we're going to have new content. This week, I am messaging the leaders with the new topics, and we're actually going to have a couple more people involved in the sneak peek videos. So I'm super excited for that. And of course, and I want to share my screen. I know there's a few of you that are super hustling for this, but there's 15 days left if you're trying to qualify for our first Team for Dynasty Diamond Retreat. As you know, I rent a beach condo in Puerto Rico, and it is big enough to have a few more. I know that there's 3 coaches that qualified. There's one that's super close, and there's 3 more of you that are trying to qualify. So just wanted to give you that quick reminder to keep, let me mute people, to keep pushing. If you are, and if you need some help, you feel stuck, whatever it is, let's strategize together. That's what we are here for, okay? So then I have a major announcement, and I left it for last because I was waiting for Monica to hop on. So for those of you that haven't heard the big news, Monica and I are working very hard together because we are going to have our very first Spanish sneak peek, because we want to grow in the Latino market. We truly believe, and Carl Deichler has said it, and people have said it, how it's going to end up, Beachbody is going to end up above and beyond the US and Canada. So therefore, what I told my leaders was, let's make all the mistakes now. So whenever they open up in the Latin American markets and, South American markets and stuff, like, we're going to be fine. By then, we're going to have our Spanish, because I know a lot of us feel like, man, but, English is, I dominate English more and stuff, but this is an opportunity to just kind of get started. So not only are we going to have our first sneak peek on Spanish sneak peek on September 29th, but we're also going to have the fully Spanish new coach camp set up for October 10th. So it's not like we're going to do a sneak peek and then we don't know what to do with them. We're going to have a separate new coach camp for everyone. So super excited for that, because I know a lot of you have a lot of Hispanic prospects. They don't speak English, and they could be great potential coaches, but we didn't have training. So we're going to go ahead and get it done for you. So be on the lookout for that. Now, without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our speaker for tonight. Her name is Amy Grasso, and Amy is she is one of our Team Thrive leaders, and that's how I know her. We have the same mentor, Ali Upham, and Amy is a 7-star diamond in her first business center. She's a 1-star in her second business center. She's been a coach for 4.5 years, and she's a 2-time elite coach. She's also a Success Club 10 legend for 45 consecutive months. That is crazy. And to add to that, she's also an organizational leader in the leadership ladder. Now, don't freak out on me, Amy. I did a little, we're in the same group, obviously, so I went back all the way to January, and I want you guys to know, and I said average Success Club 20, but I want to give you guys these stats because one thing is when people say do your vital behaviors, but to me, these are the numbers that tell me that what she's getting ready to teach is what she lives out with her business. So don't freak out on me, Amy. Don't feel like you're like, she's stalking me. Maybe I did a little earlier today. So Amy, in January, had 28 Success Club. In February, she had 27. In March, she had 30. And get this, by the 11th, she had 23. And if you, correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, you probably pushed hard because we went on the cruise. So you were trying to get everything out of the way, right? See, love it, love it. Super business mindset right there. April, she had 15. May, she had 18. June, she had 20. In July, she had 13. And August, up to date, or at least up until Friday, I don't know if that's changed, you've had 20, no. I forgot to write that one down, but I think it's 18, 12, 22. Okay, so 22, there you go. So why did I get Amy to come and speak with us? Because she is, to me, in my eyes, she is the Success Club consistency queen, okay? She's always in the top board of our leadership board in Team Thrive, and I feel like we definitely have a lot to learn. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to Amy, and we're looking forward to learning from you today.
Thank you, Mel. Oh my gosh, like to think of that, it's just like so crazy because, I just do it and I hit it every month. I don't necessarily, I don't know, like I haven't really looked back on that. So thanks for keeping me in the loop for sure. But okay, so hi you guys, I'm super excited to be on this call with you all. And it's funny because as Team Thrive, it really does go to show that we all kind of help each other and we all have each other's backs and we're willing to speak on other coaches' teams and spread the love and spread the knowledge, because I know that when I was a new coach and when I had first started this business, it was scary. And it was hard, and it wasn't necessarily something that came naturally to me. I kind of had to learn the business as those 4.5 years progressed. So, it's funny too, because y'all see me kind of how I am now, hitting Success Club on a continual basis. And, I have a lot of followers on my Facebook page, 2-time elite and all this stuff. But you have to realize that I started just like each and every one of you, okay? And a lot of times in this business, we start to look at coaches and see, oh my gosh, she's a 7-star diamond, or oh my gosh, she's a superstar diamond. I can never reach that level. And it puts a lot of self-doubt into ourselves. And I just want you guys to realize that anybody can do this business. Okay? Well, I say anybody, but really, truly, at the end of the day, you have to have a passion for people. You have to be a servant leader. You have to be willing to, give your time and energy to better the lives of others. If you have those qualities, you can absolutely take this business to the next level. You can make anything you want happen with it. You just have to be willing to believe in yourself. So I do want to kind of take you back a little bit, because like I said, I didn't come out the gate hitting Success Club, okay? I wasn't necessarily the Success Club queen, as Mel calls it, like way back when I first started, okay? So I signed up in 2012. It was a February, and I had signed up because I had awesome results with Insanity. I was in the infomercial, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to be a coach. Like, I'm in the infomercial. This just makes sense, and I want to help people through this program. So I signed up in February. I didn't know what Success Club was. I think that it was in March or April. Allie actually asked me to be on her cup team. It was one of the very, very first Team Beachbody Cups that they had ever held, and I told her no. And I look back on that now and I was just like thinking to myself, like, what was I thinking? I have no idea what I was thinking, but I said no because I was so afraid of reaching out and helping 3 people. I was being selfish in my own fear. So as the months progressed, I mean, I wasn't making really any money. I wasn't connecting with people. I was being super salesy on my Facebook page and not really doing the business how we all know how to do it now. Mind you, back then we had different systems in place. We really didn't have any systems in place, to be honest. So we kind of had to figure out this thing on our own. And it wasn't until actually, it was October of that year, me and Teresa, my upline coach, and Allie like talked about it and talked about hitting Success Club and why it was so important. And I still really didn't see the importance. I just thought that they were numbers in some club that I needed to be in. And so I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try to do this. And I ended up getting 5 Success Club points in October. However, I had delayed my Shakeology, so I didn't have an HD order process in that October, so I didn't hit Success Club. And I kicked myself in the butt because I didn't really fully understand what Success Club was. I didn't know what I needed to do to get there. I didn't know how my HD order could affect me, and I ended up not hitting, you know? So for me, that was kind of like a kick in the butt to really start focusing in on what Success Club really meant and what Success Club could do for my business, and then also the lives of other people. So in that November 2012, they had offered a free ticket to Summit back then, and that was just like crazy. Could you imagine them offering free tickets to Summit now for anyone who hit Success Club? It's just nuts. But back then, that's what it was. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. I got my shakes, and I ended up helping 3 people, and I got Success Club 5. And I was like, man, this is super cool. Like, I think that I could totally do this again next month. And so in December of 2012, and again, you guys, this is like 10 months, 9 and 10 months after I had finally after I had signed up as a coach. That was when I started hitting because like I said, I didn't fully understand what it was. So in December of that month, I hit 10, and I haven't looked back or since then. I haven't looked back. I've hit 10 or more consecutive, like what Mal said, for however many months. But what's important to realize here is that, you know, we all kind of, you know, enter a new month, and we think that the first of the month is where we start, right? And the 31st or the 30th or the 29th, depending upon how many days, that's when we end the month. And I think that that's a trap that we can't really get caught in, because we should be consistently all the time reaching out to people, whether it's the 1st, whether it's the 15th, whether it's the 30th. It's a continuous cycle, you guys. You can't go into a month thinking to yourself, oh, well, you know, Susie, Jenny, and Mary are all going to order challenge packs. And I know that for a fact. That'll get me 6 Success Club points. I don't have to push any further, okay? And they put all of their Success Club points in one basket. And then what happens? Mary stops responding to your messages, okay? And it's the 28th of the month, and you're like, oh my gosh, she said she would order, and she's not ordering. What's going on? You know, and you start to like panic, and you start to like scramble, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to put all of that pressure on yourself towards the end of the month. So I actually, you know, I do have a PowerPoint. I almost forgot to pull it up. I'm not so like talking. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I want to show you, and it's messy. I know it's a messy screen. I kind of want to show you guys how I run this and how I run my business on a month-to-month basis. Now, this took a lot of time and effort to actually master, and it didn't take effect right away. So it took me a couple of months of implementation to really start seeing this system that I had put in place in order to hit Success Club. So I'm going to go ahead and play the actual PowerPoint. And it's titled The System for Success, How Implementing a System Within Your Business Will Help You Impact More Lives. Okay. Now, mind you, it's not saying how it will help you hit Success Club and get your points, because essentially we are focused on people, not points. Okay. The points are just a measure. That's how we kind of, you know, see where we are. It's something that we can actively put on paper, but it's the lives, you guys. It's the lives that are really, that really matter here. So why systems are important. Okay. So very importantly, it creates consistency in your business. Okay, so a lot of times, like I said, we put all of our eggs in one basket and we think that we're going to hit Success Club for the month, but then some things fall through and then you don't have anything to fall back on. A system will create a consistent habit that you're going to follow each and every month, regardless of whether it's March or January or October or December, whatever it is, but you're going to follow it each and every month in order to compound and get the results that you're looking for, okay? There's no question in what you should be doing, okay? Like, these are the things that you should be doing in the month ahead. In addition, and you'll understand that more once I get into the next slides, systems are easily duplicatable. So what is this business all about? It's just finding something that works and teaching it, right? That's why we have the Team Thrive Academy. Mel and I aren't asking you to go out and like create your own trainings, right? We have a system that we can duplicate and pass on to our coaches and pass on to their coaches and their coaches because we know that it works. Again, it presents the anxiety of hustling in the last day of the month. Who's been there? I've been there. On the last day of the month, like calling my mom, like, Mom, can you please buy a challenge pack? You know, like, and it's stressful. It takes away the joy in what we do as coaches. And nobody wants that anxiety towards the end of the month, you know, or like, I mean, it's not fun. Okay. It takes all of the joy out of actual coaching. And again, it helps you to stay focused on what really matters, you guys, because what really matters, it's not about the points. It's not about the Success Club trips. It's not about the, you know, fancy bobbleheads or the broken Shakeology canisters that you get. It's all about getting people results. At the end of the day, that is what you have to go for, okay? So you hear me talking about the system, and you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, what is she talking about? Like, how does she lay out her month? What is she doing? And this is our team calendar from June of 2015. So this was almost a year ago. But I like to use this one as an example just because it's pretty, and it kind of lays out all of the things that we have each and every month that we do within my team and within myself, my own business. So if you look at this, there's a lot of things, and I'm not sure if you can actually like see exactly what they all say, but I'll read them out to you. There's 3 things that I do each and every month, okay? I run a 4-week challenge group, just as 4 weeks prep week 1, week 2, week 3, okay? So I have a small challenge group. It's usually anywhere between 10 and 15 women. I also have a free group, a 5-day free group that I work through each and every month. This is very, very basic. It follows the template that Allie presented to us way back on a national wake-up call, like back in December. And she made that 5-day challenge workbook, again, duplicatable. Guess what? I didn't create my 5-day free group all by myself. I created it with the help of Allie and what she provided, okay? So my 5-day free group, and then we also have a coaching sneak peek. So those 3 things are always something that's going on within my month, okay? So if you look up here at the top, you see that the first week of this month, it was June, we have prep week for our 4-week challenge group, okay? And then and that's in the teal. So on Monday the 1st through Sunday the 7th, we have prep week for my 4-week challenge group, okay? So these people, okay, bear with me, these people are people who are going to invest in a challenge pack, and those are the people where I'm getting all of my Success Club points from, okay? So that's important to remember. The next week, the group actually begins, okay? So we have the group starting the week of the 8th, and then it goes through the 15th and the 22nd, and it ends on the 28th, okay? Now, within that, on the 3rd week of the month, so it's actually week 3 of our challenge group. I know, bear with me, it's kind of confusing. I have a 5-day free group. The month or the week before that, I start promoing for that free group. Following? Cool. So we have first week of the month is prep week. Then you have week 2, week 3, and week 4 for my basic group. My 5-day group is on the 3rd week of the month, okay? And I start promoting it for the week prior. I'm like confusing myself even. So then what happens is during my 5-day free group, I start building relationships, okay? I start getting to know people. I start building value with people. And a lot of these free 5-day group people, like these are people that I find on my life page. These are people that I friend requested and invited to a free group who have shown interest in the past, but may have not like pulled the trigger on a challenge pack. And I know that you all have lists of people, right, that you want to, you know, follow up with. And it's just that action step of actually having something to invite them to. Free groups are money, you guys. They are so easy to just, you know, say, hey, listen, I'm doing this free group. I know that you've expressed interest in the past. Like, do you want to be a part of it? And get them in there. You know, don't make them purchase anything or, you know, have any obligation or commitment. Just make them commit to 5 days with you. But what's going to happen in those 5 days, you're going to show them the magic that is you as a coach, right? You are going to build value. You are going to get to know them. You are going to earn their trust. And you are going to give them an experience that is kind of like a sneak peek into what your challenge groups are all about, you guys, okay? So they're very, very important. And like I said, I do that during the 3rd week approximately of the month, because by the end of that week, it's time for me to start promoting, or actually through that week and towards the end and into the next week, I'm going to start looking for people for my next challenge group, okay? Whenever I close out my free groups, I always give them these options, you know, like they can go along their merry way, they can sign up with me and do a paid group, and if they've had a great experience, you guys, they're going to say yes, you know? And especially if you've spent all of that time really digging into their why and understanding what they need, and then showing them that you can give them what they need and filling that void. A lot of times, I mean, there will be people who say no, don't get me wrong. Not everybody says yes to me. There will be people who say no, but you have to be constantly looking for them and constantly building value in them. So then once that closes out, you know, we have a coaching sneak peek. So notice that I did the coaching sneak peek towards the last week of my challenge group. And that's where during week 3, I invite a lot of people into that coaching sneak peek, okay? But that's kind of like a different topic. That's not really talking on Success Club. That's kind of how I transition my challengers. And then, of course, that group ends. But I'm still promoting all through, you know, the end of this month, because guess what? All of my Success Club points, I had them sold by the 10th. You know, like I had these people who are in this June group. Those are the people who helped hit that Success Club number, right? And then I had the rest of the month not to worry about, you know, like hustling to get points. I was just hustling to build value, whether it was those people in that challenge group or the people who were in that free group, okay? Does this make sense? Are you all following how this kind of flows? So again, yes, thumbs up. So again, I have my 4-week group, okay? 2nd week of my 4-week group, I start promoting a free. 3rd week, we have that free group that runs right into the coaching sneak peek and right into the next month, which is July. So all through the 3rd and 4th and 4.5 weeks of the month, I'm building value with people. I'm getting them results, you know, I'm not hustling and worried about points, because that's going to take us into next month, right? And next month, again, July of 2015, we're going to go and we're going to look, and I do the same exact thing. I start promoting for the 4-week challenge group last 2 weeks. This particular month, we didn't do a free group because of Coach Summit. But it's the same thing each and every month. And we know what to expect and we know what to do. And it's so important, you guys, to really understand that the essence of Success Club is a benchmark, right? It's showing your progress and it's showing how you're building your business and kind of staying consistent with reaching out to new people. My goal for the month is hitting Success Club 10 by the 10th. That is always a goal for me, 10 by the 10th. Melanie, when you had said, oh, she hustled and got all those points by mid-month, that's why, because I didn't want to have to worry about it on the cruise, but also because that's just how I work. I get the majority of my points and my sales coming to me in the first couple of weeks of the month. That's just how it's always been for this past 1.5 years, because I've set this system in place. Again, are you going to see benefit like right off the bat? Not necessarily, but if you are constantly talking to people and not just talking to people between the 1st and the 31st, because it's a start and an end, you guys, there is no end to this, okay? There is no last day of the month. You're always talking with people. A lot of times people ask me, like, do you ever kind of sandbag Success Club points? like hold back if you've already hit 10 and your husband's hit Success Club and you have people like towards the end of the month who want to order a challenge pack? Do you ever like ask them to wait till the first, couple of days of the next month? And my answer is no, I don't. Because why would I be selfish and hold those points for my next month just to hit Success Club? I know I'm going to hit because it's non-negotiable for me. And I've talked to so many people through my free group and so many people who I follow up with on a continual basis. And I have tons of conversations going and I reach out to new people. Like, that is how this works. That is how this happens. And you might be asking yourself like, well, yeah, sure, but she has all the time in the world to do this. I don't. I'm very busy. We're all busy, but I make this a priority because this is my business. This has allowed me to stay home with my kid. This has allowed me to take him to kindergarten and pick him back up again. This has allowed me to have freedom of time. So if I want to reach out to 20 people in an hour, I can, but I built up to that. All of these habits that I've done over the past 4.5 years, like, it didn't come easy, like, this stuff is hard. It is. But the hard is what makes it worth it. And just so long as you find something, you guys, that works for you, this system has worked for me. Again, 3 things that I do. I have my free 5-day group. I have my 4-week challenge group. And then I have our sneak peek. Now, I can go in about our coaching sneak peeks and how we run those, and I can go in about what I do with these challengers after their 4-week group. But that's that's a lot. That would be a very, very long call. I do have a big revolving type graduates group, so I will tell you that a lot of these people graduate into. But then I find more people to help. People don't repeat my 4-week group, okay? Those people are committed to themselves, and they invest in Shakeology in a program. But in addition, they're trusting me with their health and fitness goals, okay? And they're committing to me. And that's what makes me feel really good about, working with new people on a continual basis. So for this, does this make sense to everybody? Kind of how I go through it all? Do you have any questions? I know I try to keep it like 20 minutes or so. And here's the 2 calendars together because they look pretty together. You can see how they flow. And again, this isn't what our calendars look like now, but it's the same format. Like, it's the same thing. We go through the same exact thing. So, and it's helped a lot of my coaches. A lot of us hit the first couple weeks of the month, and then we save the rest of the weeks of the month to, really start focusing on building value and getting people results. And then you have before and after photos to show. And guess what? Results speak to the masses. So yeah, any questions? Look, I have a question slide. Okay, cool. I guess I can stop this.
Yeah, let me see. Is anybody unmuted? Hang on a second. All right, does anybody have any questions? Anything? Let's see. No one's unmuted.
I love questions.
I knew it. I was looking for you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear. I don't know who's talking. Who is it?
Monica.
Oh, it's me, Monica.
Oh, I see you, Monica. Yeah.
Okay, so you spoke about the consistency of keeping the schedule and creating a system. What about when you are on vacation, or you are on those times where not so much that you want to stay away from everything, but do you plan that specific month around what you're doing personally, or do you continue with your system the way it is?
Yeah, most of the time it's going to be pretty much the same. There are times like, of course, there's leadership coming up, and there was a Success Club trip, and then there was Coach Summit. I tweak it a little bit around those months, but not all that much, like I stay pretty still consistent with it. For Coach Summit, and that was something that I kind of had to tweak for other reasons as well, I ended up not necessarily running a small challenge group. But I still had my free group, and I still had the sneak peek. But instead of running a challenge group, the way that I actually earned Success Club in that month was I started to just look for 5 or 6 people to one-on-one coach or one-on-one mentor. And we stayed in communication, not through a Facebook page, but through texting, email, and Zoom chats. So then I was able to kind of work my schedule around their schedule, and we kind of did it that way. But other than that, I mean, no, we pretty much, I pretty much stick with the same schedule. Of course, sometimes months are funny, like days fall on weird times of the week and stuff like that. But yeah, I stay pretty consistent with it.
Awesome. Any other questions, Monica, or anyone else?
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
She's got one.
Gabby, you? Hold on, let me unmute you. Hold on.
The 5-day free group.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned that you copy it from Ali. She taught one time at the national call back in December.
Yeah.
Are we able to find the way she did it and all that, or?
Yeah, there should be. Melanie, do you have that?
It's actually in the Team Faith files. I'll show you what it is, and I'll send it to your inbox, so I'll tag you on it. But it's really good.
Yeah, it is. And I've had really great success with not only getting challengers, but also coaches from it, because it is so easy and seamless to go through. Now, I do change, like Allie uses a lot of exclamation points and like a lot of bolded words and capitalization where there shouldn't be capitalization. And so like I, of course, changed it to sound more like my own.
Yours.
Yeah, but then in addition, you guys, with live video, like live video is something too that has been a huge help in groups like that, because they see your face, they resonate with you, they can look into your eyes and actually see what you're all about. So if you're afraid to go live on your Facebook page, that's okay. So was I. Start with groups. Start with your free groups or your coach page or your challenge groups or whatever it is, because that is really going to give you guys an awesome connection. That's also something that we've started doing with we call our sneak peeks backstage passes. So we run them for 3 days, and it's usually me and Teresa and a couple other leaders on our team. And we just do live video. We don't have any posts. We don't have any text, no pictures or anything like that. It's literally just all live video. And our retention rate, our sign-up rate has been huge with that. So with the free groups, it's been awesome as well. So live video is where it's at.
It's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We run our
Amy,
calendar almost the same. I think that one thing you mentioned, I like how, I don't think, and this is me, I don't know if anybody else in the team feels this way, but personally speaking, I feel like I need to cultivate the relationships more during the 5-day clean eating group, for example. Like I know their why and stuff like that, but I like what you said, how you really like connect with them during. So it's almost like they will want to continue.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing too, because, okay, so a couple of months ago, I had a challenger who finally signed up with the challenge pack, and she had literally been in a free group like 2 years ago. And we had stayed in contact, and we had stayed talking with each other. I would check in with her, and like the time between our conversations or the messages that we would send, like I would go back and I would look, and just so long as like I didn't leave her with an invitation, like because you don't want to be the only time you're communicating with people, you're inviting them to a group or asking them to sign up as a coach. You know, you should be asking about their kids and taking a genuine interest. And I know that like a lot of times when coaches tell you to do that, like, you know, ask about their kids, ask about their family, it can sound a little cheesy and cliche because people think like, oh, you're just doing it to sell a challenge pack. But really, like for me, I'm a curious person, and I really want to know where you got your hair done, you know, or I really want to know how your kid's first day of school was. But that's just how I function. That's just how I've always been that way. I ask questions, you know, but it's important to cultivate that relationship in the free group, but then continue cultivating it even after it's over, you know, because somebody who's in a free group today could be one of your rock star coaches a year from now, okay? And had you not cultivated that relationship and let it go, that person would never have that opportunity. So I think somebody else had another question. Was there another question?
I did. And I apologize. I live in the country, so you guys get stuck a lot and when you're talking. How do you feel about Hootsuite and all that stuff? Because I know you're talking a lot about right now about the live videos and stuff like that, but knowing that you have a set plan, do you sit down and do you do your challenge groups pre set up or whatever you want to call it, or scheduled posts?
So I used to. I used to have just like a set, daily posting schedule that I would follow, and a lot of it was, like auto scheduled with a program or a third party application. But I've actually gotten away from that. And the reason being was because, I would have stuff auto post in my challenge groups and I would forget that it would post, and if no one commented on it, then like I would never really get notifications unless I actually went into the group, which was a part of my power hour. But when it was auto scheduling, it just felt very disconnected from my group. Okay. And I felt like they knew, and they do know that it's auto scheduled, So I do have a bank of content that I use Evernote. So I have a lot of content when it comes to recipes or tips on eating out or how to get your water in, and tips that kind of like have different areas of emphasis. And if I'm looking for something and that it relates to the group, because I could have a group that could be posting about, I don't know, just like, random stuff. Like they not once mention emotional eating or mindful eating. And then I pull this post out of my butt, like on mindful eating that auto schedules. And like, nobody's really had a struggle with that. So it didn't make sense. You know what I mean? So like content was posting that maybe worked in the past, but it didn't necessarily apply to the group that I was working with at that point. So because that was happening, I kind of pulled away a little bit, and I do auto schedule one post in my group, and that is one that posts at like 6 a.m. because I am not up that early, and I have some crazy girls who work out at like 4:30, and it's just I'm not waking up that early to post on Facebook. So I will schedule that, and they know that. I tell them that, like, you guys, this could be auto scheduled. I'm gonna be in bed. So they know that, they're aware. And it's usually like Motivational Monday or Tasty Tuesday or Wacky Wednesday, whatever it is. But other than that, I don't really auto schedule. I do schedule stuff on my like page, but I don't use Hootsuite or anything like that. The program that I use is called Edgar.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Anybody else?
Hey, can I come to your diamond retreat in Puerto Rico?
You should.
My dad was born in San Juan, right?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm like 25% Puerto Rican.
Hey, you're Puerto Rican. That's what matters.
I know.
Awesome. All right. Does anybody have any other questions before we let her go? No? Scotty, you're going to take a picture. Amy, this is a tradition. We take a team picture.
Okay. Tell me when.
Got it. Oh, one more. Okay.
Question.
Got it? Okay.
I'm
Amy,
like,
thank you for your time.
oh, you're welcome.
I know.
I hope it was helpful.
No, it was great. I know someone's gonna ask. Can you share the notes? Can you send them to my inbox just so I can, put it in the team page and stuff? Because people usually.
Yeah. Do you have PowerPoint or Keynote?
I have both. But send me PowerPoint or PDF if you want to convert it, just so they can see it. So whoever doesn't have it, they can open it. So I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And
You're welcome.
thank you for everything. Thank you guys. You guys have a good night.
Bye. We'll see ya. Thanks for having me. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you.